Ladies, listen to me, lean and real close, because I'm about to help you out today. See, here's the problem. A lot of y'all out here thinking a man don't care because he ain't saying it every 5 minutes, or he ain't writing you love poems and posting you all over Instagram. But let me tell you something. Men don't always talk how you want to talk. We're simple creatures. We don't use 20,000 words a day like y'all do. We might use 7,000 and half of those go to work. But just because he's quiet don't mean he ain't thinking about you. In fact, sometimes that man is sitting there, mind racing, planning ways to make your life better. Now, I know what you're saying, Steve, how do I know if he's really thinking about me? That's why I'm here today. Over the next hour, I'm going to break it down for plain and simple and show you 4 signs that man got you on his mind way more than you realize. We're talking about the real signs, not the Hollywood movie script signs, cause real love. It ain't about loud words and flashy gestures. It's about consistency. It's about action. So if you've been confused, wondering if he's serious, wondering if you're just another option, or if you're the one, you're in the right place. By the end of this, you're going to know exactly how to read a man's actions, how to stop overthinking, and how to appreciate the quiet ways a good man says, baby, I got you. So buckle up. Ladies, this is about to be real raw and straight to the point. The power of male silence saying, ladies, let me tell you something about men that most of y'all miss because you're looking at the wrong signals. Men, we are not wired to talk the way you are. Women, you can talk for hours on the phone, in the kitchen, at work, in the grocery store. You process your emotions out loud. You think out loud. But men, oh no, we're a different species when it comes to communication. We process in silence. That quiet, that stillness, that moment where you think, why isn't he saying anything? That doesn't mean he doesn't care. 9 times out of 10, that silence means he's thinking about you more than you know. Here's the reality: men express love through action, not paragraphs. When a man is quiet, he's not ignoring you. He's planning something, processing something, or replaying something you said. Maybe he's figuring out how to take you on that trip you mentioned. Maybe he's thinking about how to pay off that bill you said was stressing you out. Or maybe he's simply sitting there replaying that laugh you gave him last night that made his whole day. But because he's not verbalizing it, you assume nothing is happening. Ladies, silence is not the absence of thought. Silence is often the loudest form of thinking. See, women want constant verbal reassurance. You want to hear, I love you, I miss you, I need you. And that's fine, but you got to understand that men communicate differently. We show love in how we show up, not just in what we say. When that man is making sure your car got gas, when he checks the locks at night, when he brings your favorite snack home without you asking, that is a man thinking about you, loving you in his own language. And let me give you a little inside scoop. Men hate talking just to talk. If a man doesn't have a solution yet, he'll stay quiet until he figures it out. That's why sometimes when you ask him, what's wrong? And he says, you think he's shutting you out. No, baby, he's not shutting you out. He's shutting himself into that internal workshop where he's building the answer, building the plan, building the next step for the both of you. Let me hit you with some truth. Men are strategic thinkers. A man in love is always calculating. He's thinking about where this relationship is going, how to protect you, how to provide for you, how to make sure you're happy and safe. That's why when he's quiet, you need to learn to be comfortable in that quiet. Stop reading that silence as distance. Sometimes that silence is where the most love is happening. And ladies, let me keep it real with you. If a man is truly interested in you, you'll feel it even in his quiet moments, because his actions will always back it up. He'll show up consistently. He'll text you even if it's just, he'll call you just to check in. He'll make time for you even when his schedule is crazy. That's his way of saying, Baby, I may not have the words, but you're on my mind. So the next time your man is sitting in silence, don't assume the worst. Don't start creating stories in your head or sending your girls screenshots asking, what does this mean? Instead, understand this. His silence might just mean he's thinking about you, planning for you, loving you, in the quiet way men do. The power of male silence is not in the words you hear, but in the actions that follow. Sign point 1. He protects your peace, ladies. Let me tell you something about a good man. When a man is really into you, when you are sitting heavy on his heart and in his mind, one of the first things he's going to do is protect your peace. And I don't mean just stepping up when somebody disrespects you. I'm talking about a man who is intentional about keeping your world calm, safe, and steady, because he understands something. A woman can only flourish when she feels secure. That's how men show real love. A man who thinks about you all the time is always observing. He's paying attention to what stresses you out, what drains you, and what makes you feel loved and cared for. If he notices that certain conversations upset you, he'll avoid bringing unnecessary drama into your space. If he sees that you've had a rough day, he'll either give you quiet time to decompress or be right there with open arms and an encouraging word. That is a man protecting your peace. See, ladies, protection isn't always about physical defense. Though trust me, if somebody tries you, that man will step in without hesitation. But the deeper level of protection is emotional and mental. He wants you to feel safe sharing your fears, your dreams, your failures, and your wildest ideas without feeling judged. He wants to be the place you can go when the world is loud, where you can exhale and just be yourself. That's not something a man does for every woman. He does that for the one he truly values. When a man truly cares, he takes mental notes about what you need. If you're anxious about driving late, he'll stay on the phone until you get home or even show up to drive you himself. If you're overwhelmed, he'll do little things to lighten your load, maybe picking up dinner, running an errand, or simply reminding you to rest. And sometimes protecting your peace is as simple as removing unnecessary noise from your life. People, situations, even his own bad habits. A man who's serious about you will start checking himself, making changes, and doing better because your peace matters more than his pride. Now, let me break something down for you. Men don't always use the word peace, but they know when you're unsettled. If a man keeps saying, I just want you to be happy, or I don't want you to stress, what he's really saying is, I see you. I see the weight you carry, and I'm here to help lift it. That is an act of love louder than any I love you, he could say. And listen, protecting your peace doesn't mean life will always be perfect. Y'all will still have disagreements. There will still be hard days. But when a man is thinking about you and your well-being, he will make it a priority to handle conflict with respect. He won't let arguments turn into chaos. He'll take time to understand where you're coming from, even when he doesn't fully agree, because your emotional safety matters to him. When you've got a man like that, you feel it in your spirit. You feel calmer around him. You sleep better. You walk through life with a little more confidence because you know somebody has your back. That, ladies, is what real protection looks like. Not just standing in front of you when trouble comes, but building an environment where trouble struggles to even get in. So if you've got a man who goes out of his way to check on you, to lighten your burdens, and to keep negativity far from you, understand this, that man isn't just in your life, he's invested. Because when a man is truly thinking about you, his number one priority becomes making sure your peace stays intact. Sign point 2, he invests his time. Ladies, let me tell you something that a lot of people overlook. When a man truly cares about you, the biggest thing he's going to invest in you is his time, not his money, not fancy gifts, not grand gestures, though those are nice, but his time. See, time is the one thing you can't fake, you can't recycle, and you sure can't get back once it's gone. And when a man gives you his time, consistently and willingly, that's one of the loudest ways he's saying, you matter to me. Men are busy. We've got jobs, responsibilities, side hustles, family obligations, friends pulling us in different directions. And sometimes we're just tired from carrying the weight of the world. So when a man carves out space for you in the middle of all that, when he makes room in his schedule, not when it's convenient, but even when it's inconvenient, that is not by accident, that is intention, that is priority, that is love in motion. Think about it. A man who doesn't care will keep you on standby. He'll talk when he feels like it, text when it's convenient, and make plans only when there's nothing better to do. But a man who's thinking about you all the time, he's going to find a way to be present. He'll check in during his lunch break, even if it's just for 5 minutes. He'll drive across town through traffic just to see you for an hour. He'll show up for your events, your big moments, your small victories, and even your rough days, because being there matters to him. Now, I know some of y'all are used to empty words. You've dealt with men who say, I miss you, but never make plans to see you. Or they say, we should hang out, but weeks go by and nothing happens. Let me be clear, real interest doesn't live in excuses. It lives in action. When a man is serious about you, his calendar is going to reflect it. He'll rearrange things, cancel things, and sometimes even sacrifice his own comfort because he wants to be around you, learn you, and build something with you. And here's the thing, time is also how a man shows you what place you hold in his life. If he makes time for you when he's happy, that's good. But when he makes time for you when he's busy, when he's tired, when life is heavy, that's when you know you've got someone who's thinking about you nonstop. Because in his mind, you're not just a part of his life, you're a priority in his life. Ladies, pay attention to the patterns. Consistency is everything. A man who's interested for real isn't going to pop in and out of your life like a part-time job. He's going to show up in the mornings, in the evenings, and everywhere in between. His presence becomes a constant, a safe space. And that kind of consistency builds trust because it shows you he's serious about building something real. And here's the truth. Time spent together doesn't always have to be a grand event. Sometimes it's simple. Sitting on the couch watching a movie, cooking dinner together, riding in the car talking about nothing and everything at the same time. Those little moments. That's where bonds are built. That's where you see a man's heart, because he's not trying to impress you. He's just trying to connect with you. So if there's a man in your life who makes time for you, who shows up consistently, who invests his most valuable resource, his hours, his days, his attention, understanding this, that man is telling you something without saying a word. Because when a man invests his time, it's his way of saying, I'm not just here for now, I'm here for as long as you'll let me be. Sign point 3, he listens and remembers. Ladies, let me tell you something right now. When a man is truly into you, one of the biggest signs you'll see is that he listens and remembers. And I'm not just talking about nodding his head while you talk or giving you that half distracted ooh, huh, while scrolling through his phone. No. I'm talking about a man who pays attention to what you say, who stores those words in his mind, and who brings them back up in ways that let you know you've been on his heart and his mind. Now, let me break this down for you. Men are not natural listeners. I'm not saying we don't care. I'm saying that as men, our attention span can be a little selective. We hear a lot of things every day, and most of it goes in one ear and out the other. But when a man is invested in you, suddenly he's got the memory of an elephant. Things you said in passing, things you didn't even think he caught. He files them away. And then one day he'll bring it up, and you'll be standing there shocked, like, wait, you remembered that? That's how you know he's thinking about you more than you know. If you casually mention your favorite coffee order, and the next week he shows up with it, that's not coincidence. If you talk about a book you've been dying to read, and he surprises you with it. That's effort. That's attention. That's him telling you without words, I hear you. You matter to me. See, listening is an act of love. Men don't always communicate with big speeches or dramatic declarations, but when they listen, truly listen, they are showing respect and interest on a level that words can't always capture. Because to a man, it takes focus. It takes intention. And when he chooses to give you that level of focus, he's telling you that you are important to him. A man who listens doesn't just remember the obvious things. He remembers the little things, your favorite childhood story, that fear you've been too embarrassed to share with anyone else, the name of your best friend, the way your face lights up when you talk about your goals. He's studying you, learning you, and storing those details because in his mind, they are pieces of the puzzle that make you who you are. And here's the beautiful part. When a man remembers, he uses that knowledge to love you better. He'll adjust his actions based on what he knows about you. If he knows you've had a long day, he won't call you to vent about his. He'll give you space to relax. If he knows you're anxious about an event, he'll show up early to be by your side. If he knows you love quiet evenings over wild nights out, he'll plan dates that match your vibe. That's not luck, baby. That's intentional. I always tell women this attention equals affection. If a man is giving you his undivided attention, if he's repeating things you've said weeks ago, if he's making an effort to create moments that show he's been listening, that's a man who's got you on his mind long after the conversation ended. So the next time you wonder if he's really thinking about you, pay attention to the details. Notice if he remembers that story you told about your childhood, or the way you take your coffee, or that one dream you whispered when you thought nobody was really listening. Because when a man is truly interested, he's not just hearing your words, he's holding on to them, using them to love you in the quiet, consistent way that says, I see you, I value you. Sign point 4. He includes you in his future ladies. Let me tell you something real clear. When a man truly has you on his mind, when you are not just somebody he's dating for right now, but someone he sees as a real part of his life, you will hear it and feel it in the way he talks about the future. Men don't just hand out invitations to their dreams to anybody. If he's talking about tomorrow, next year, or 5 years down the road, and you're right there in the picture, that's not casual. That's intentional. That's a man saying without even saying it, baby, I see you in my forever. See, here's the thing about men. We are planners by nature. We think in terms of building, providing, and creating something solid. So when a man starts including you in those plans, that's one of the biggest signs he's thinking about you far more than you realize. He might start dropping little hints without even realizing it. He'll say things like, when we take that trip next summer, or when I buy that house, we'll need a bigger kitchen. He may even joke about future kids or talk about financial goals, and all of those statements have one common thread. You're in the picture, and don't get it twisted. Men don't just do that with anybody. If you're just temporary in his mind, those future conversations won't exist. He won't be talking about vacations or family or what life will look like 2 years from now. But when you are in his heart, you are in his vision. And that's powerful because men protect what they build, and they build what they value. Including you in his future isn't just about the big statements either. It's in the small things. He'll start asking you questions like, what city would you want to live in someday? Or, if you could design your dream home, what would it look like? Those questions aren't random. That's him collecting information. That's him saying, I want to know what you want because I plan to create a life that includes you. When a man is thinking about you seriously, you'll notice that his decisions start to shift. He'll start saving more, thinking long term, and making choices that reflect stability and growth. Not just for himself, but for us. He's not just dating you, he's preparing for you. That might look like taking on extra work to secure a financial future, working on personal growth to be a better partner, or setting boundaries with other people so he can give you the best version of himself. And ladies, let's talk about actions matching words, because this is where a lot of people get confused. A man can talk about the future all day, but a man who truly means it will back it up with consistent actions. He'll invite you to family gatherings. He'll introduce you to his close friends. He'll let you in on the parts of his life that matter most, because he knows that if you're going to be in his tomorrow, you need to be present in his today. That kind of inclusion also brings a sense of security. You stop wondering if you're just a phase or someone to pass the time with, because everything he does tells you that you are a part of his foundation, not just an accessory. And that right there is one of the clearest, strongest signs that man is thinking about you more than you know. So when a man starts using words like we, us, and ours instead of just me and mine, understand that he's not just making conversation. He's showing you his vision. He's telling you, I don't just see you for now. I see you for later. I see you for always. Don't miss the signs, ladies. Let me be as real as I can with you. Some of y'all are out here missing good men because you're too busy looking for the wrong signs. You're waiting for fireworks, grand gestures, or some picture perfect movie script romance. And because of that, you're blind to the quiet, consistent ways a man is telling you he cares. Let me tell you something, love doesn't always come wrapped in roses and expensive dates. More often than not, it shows up in the small, steady actions that a man repeats day after day without even thinking about it. A man can be thinking about you morning, noon, and night, but if you don't know how to recognize it, you'll convince yourself that he doesn't care. And you know why that happens? Because sometimes we let society and social media tell us what love is supposed to look like. We're so focused on Instagram, worthy gestures, that we miss the simple truths, the text that says, "Did you get home safe?" The way he always makes sure your car has gas. The way he remembers your coffee order without asking. The way he protects your peace by checking on you when you've been quiet. Those are signs, baby. Real signs. When a man is genuinely into you, he's consistent. He doesn't just pop up when it's convenient. He makes an effort to understand you, to support you, and to show you that you matter. But if you're too busy chasing noise, looking for constant verbal reassurance or dramatic displays of affection, you're going to miss the gold right in front of you. You're going to miss the man who is loving you quietly in his own way, because you're tuned into the wrong frequency. Here's the truth. Men are not complicated. We do what we want to do, and we show up for who we want to show up for. So if that man is calling, texting, showing up, paying attention, including you in his future, and protecting your peace, you better believe that's intentional. That's not just a coincidence. That's effort. And effort is the purest form of love you're ever going to find. Too many women miss out on good men because they want love to look a certain way. They want it loud, dramatic, and obvious. But real love, healthy love, grown love, it's calm, it's steady, and it's consistent. It's the little things done every single day that build trust and security. It's the man who shows up when you're sick, who listens when you're overwhelmed, who supports you when you're chasing your dreams. It's the man who doesn't just tell you he loves you, but proves it through his actions. You've got to train yourself to see these signs. Pay attention to how he treats you, not just what he says to you. Does he make time for you even when he's busy? Does he check in because he genuinely wants to know how you're doing? Does he listen when you talk? And remember the things you say. Those are not random behaviors. Those are deliberate choices. Choices that say, I'm thinking about you. I care about you. I want you in my life. So don't miss the signs because you're distracted by unrealistic expectations. Love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. And if you don't stop and listen, you'll overlook a man who's doing everything he can to show you you're important. The key is to value consistency, appreciate effort, and understand that love isn't about who says it the loudest. It's about who shows it every single day in ways big and small. Closing message actions don't lie, ladies. Let me leave you with this: love ain't as complicated as people make it out to be. When a man is thinking about you, truly, deeply, and consistently, he's going to show you. It may not always look like a Hollywood movie, but it will feel steady, safe, and real. Stop looking for the noise and start paying attention to the actions. Look at how he protects your peace, how he invests his time, how he listens and remembers, and how he quietly includes you in his plans for tomorrow. Those are the real signs, the ones that matter, the ones you don't want to miss. Because here's the truth: words are easy, but actions tell the story. And when his actions match his intentions, you don't have to question his heart. So the next time you find yourself wondering if he's really thinking about you, take a step back and look at the pattern. Does he show up for you? Does he make you feel seen, heard, and valued? If the answer is yes, then baby girl, you've got something special, something worth nurturing, protecting, and growing. Love doesn't have to be perfect to be real. It just has to be consistent. And when you recognize those quiet, steady signs, you'll stop doubting, stop overthinking, and start appreciating the man who's telling you every single day, in his own way, baby, I got you.